Hey everybody, Jamie here with Journey North. I buy a lot of these old claw hammers when I go to garage sales, thrift shops, antique shops, mainly because there's an abundance of them. You know, almost everybody's got a couple of these laying around and have had for years. So they're relatively cheap. They're nice to work on. Probably the most used hammer ever. This here's a 15-inch handle, little curved claw. Probably 16 ounce, pretty common. Older Stanley. And you're going to find these a lot with loose heads. They weren't really beat on. They're more of a tap and finish type hammer. This one here's got a real old Octagon handle on it, which was fairly common. It was an option when you ordered hammers. Oval or Octagon. Also, get them out of the Sears catalog or wherever you'd order them from. Typically, you could get them in a hickory, ash, or white oak, depending on what part of the country you were from, what the options were. This one here is very light. Can see the grain very well, so I don't think it's hickory. Probably a white oak, possibly an ash, but it looks to me like a white oak. Some minor chipping around the edges. It's really shrunken up on the head. But I want to keep it. I just love this handle. It's scarred up. Got some paint and stuff on it. But if I sand it, keep the Octagon, scrape it where I need to, maybe reprofile this end a little bit, get some of them chips out of there. Other than that, it's just it's really shrunk up on the head here. Got one little metal wedge in there. That should come out no problem. But we can move it down a little bit. It's got a little shelf it's sitting on, so we can just shave some of that off and it'll move down. And that should, yeah, that'll tighten it up just by moving it down like that. We have a little gap there. But what you can do on these is you can cross wedge it back this way, either with a wood wedge or a metal wedge. I think we put a wood wedge in there, metal wedge going crossways. That should splay it out both ways and tighten that right back up. Let's pull it apart. I'll clean the head up and the handle up. And we'll see what kind of fit we can get. And I think we're just going to clear coat. Just a clear oil on that handle. See what that looks like. Let me do a little work here and we'll come back. Well, that didn't take too long. I didn't film it. The sanders, grinders, all real noisy in this small room. And you guys see me do that a time or two. I got that hand. I didn't sand it all the way down. I wanted to keep some of the characteristics, some of the old oils and nicks and gouges in that old Octagon handle. Did kind of reprofile this edge here. Took some of them chips out. Seated it down just a hair further. Beautiful fit on that one. That gap in the top was a problem like I thought it was going to be. Everything shrinks up. I buffed her down hard on the sander and got a slight burn to it and then went with a really light colored wedge. And then I put a cross wedge metal in there to splay it both ways. So that's tighter than that thing's ever been. You can see that stamp on there or not. Stanley. Hard to date these here because I don't know much about the Stanley tools. I know they've been around for like 150, 170 years, something like that. Long time. Stanley still made today. Obviously not the quality they once were. But this section here is smooth. On the newer ones, that's almost always kind of like an Octagon. And it's got a real tight curve to it. Which there was many different ones, but this one, I don't know, I really like the profile of it. My new wire wheel on that grinder just hums, man. You can almost get a high polish on it right off the bat. I usually don't go quite that shiny, but it turned out nice. Let's put just a little clear oil on it and see what it looks like here. Just got the Watco Natural. Old t-shirt using for a rag. Then once I get done with these, I use them for a fire starter. They just work just beautiful to start a fire with that varnish and oil mixed straight in like that. Nothing goes to waste around here, that's for sure. Oh, I'm loving the color on this here. You won't see the true color in this video because I put about 4 or 5 coats on them. And then every time I go in the shop, if I get the oil out for anything, either the clear or the dark, either one, I'll put a coat on all the handles I got. It does not hurt. The excess will run off. Fill up all them cracks. Keep them handles looking nice for future use. You really want to rub that in. Get it all in little... This old wood's got a lot of little cracks and stuff in it. And over time, the stuff here, it'll soak right in. Danish oil, the Watco. Just nice stuff. A little more on this one. We'll get a little video of it and see what it looks like compared to some of my other handles here. Like I said, I'm thinking this is like a white oak. See all the little nicks and gouges. God, I love that look. Even the little specks of paint right in there that are inside the cracks. Left them right in there. Now we'll grab that's the black cherry I'm putting on my plum. Stanley, I think we'll go, I'll stick with kind of clear on them. And of course I got my burn with motor oil on some of my users as well. And the True Temper, I put a little tiny bit of stain on them and then put the dark Watco over the top. So you can see the contrast there. It's fun doing them different ones, especially if you're going to keep them. So they don't all look the same. And as you use these, the oils of your hand and everything, they'll change the color of them yet. If you want to give this a shot, like I said, you can find these old hammers. You can do it to a new hammer. Even a fiberglass. Drill that fiberglass out. You can pick up new handles, hammer handles. It's like $6. If you want to turn them Octagon, you can take the time and do that. You can shape them however you'd like. For $7, $8, you can customize your own hammer. And they're fun to do. You ain't got nothing else to do right now. You're sitting home. Get them projects done. Make some new projects. Stanley Vintage. Old Stanley. Vintage Stanley. Octagon handle. Alright guys, thanks. Take her easy.